I'm George Rogers. I'm here with the Choice Skills Show, coming to you today from Mumbai, otherwise known as Bombay, India. Perhaps I'll have a chance in future shows to tell you a little bit about why I'm here. But for the moment, I just want to talk briefly about my room I'm staying in while I'm here. It's a very simple room. It's not an apartment, it's just a room. There's a bed, there's a desk, a small stand, I got a lamp, a chair, a metal cabinet to hang my clothes in, and there's a mirror. So it's very simple, but everything about this room bespeaks intelligence. While it's raining outside with the monsoon rains, I'm comfortable and dry in here. And everything about this room was built and designed on purpose. Everything in it was created and brought here by specific effort and choice on the part of people. So nothing about this is haphazard. It all was purposefully built and constructed and made possible for me to be here. So everything about it bespeaks intelligence. But what is intelligence? What is intelligence? You know, it's interesting. After thousands of years of philosophers talking about it and a little over 100 years of psychologists actively studying what intelligence is, we really still don't have a very good understanding of it. There's a couple broad theories of intelligence, one which has perhaps been around for thousands of years, which has to do with the idea that there is something called intelligence, and it's something you can improve upon. And some people seem to have more of it than others because they can do things that other people can't. And then there's a theory of multiple intelligences, which has been around literally less than 30 years. The one by Howard Gardner, introduced by Howard Gardner in 1983. And it's gained some traction, and there's some merits to it. And we're going to be talking about both of these theories. But if we don't understand much about intelligence, why am I going to be talking about it? Because there are some things we can understand about it that will be very helpful to you in teaching your children. And I don't believe that you're going to hear what I'm going to be telling you anywhere else. Not because I'm more intelligent than anyone else, but because at the moment I seem to be the only one talking about the missing piece in education. And I think it's so critically important that you know what you need to do to supply that piece.
So let's take a quick look at the prevailing theory of intelligence and a brief history of some of the ideas that have gone into forming it and continue to sustain it. The prevailing theory of intelligence embraces the notion that each person possesses a single intelligence capable of doing a variety of things, as determined by whatever combination of aptitudes, talents, or skills an individual may possess. Advocates of this theory generally believe that a person's level of intelligence can be measured through what was called psychometric test and expressed as a quantity, a number on a scale. I think of this as the quantitative approach to intelligence. The larger the number is supposedly the greater the level of intelligence a person possesses, and therefore greater expectations for success. Until the turn of the 20th century, discussions of what intelligence is and what intelligence does were largely limited to philosophers. In the early 1900s, however, the field of psychology took up the study of intelligence, and 1904 was a year of great activity. British psychologist Charles Fairman saw intelligence as a general faculty. He noted that individuals who performed well on one cognitive test generally performed well on others, and those who performed badly tended to do badly on all tests. He concluded, therefore, that intelligence is a general cognitive ability that can be measured and numerically expressed. Sir Francis Galton, a British scientist, once described as the great man of measurement of anything and everything, concluded that intelligence is inherited. He is the individual who coined the word eugenics. The most important work, however, was done by a French psychologist, Alfred Binet. Binet belonged to an organization seeking to find ways to improve education for retarded children. In 1904, the French government formed a committee to create a mechanism for identifying students in need of alternative education. The Commission approached Binet's organization to create this mechanism, and Binet undertook the task. His goal was to develop a numerical skill which resulted from performance on tests of practical knowledge, memory, reasoning, vocabulary, and problem solving. The result was the Binet-Simon scale, or the forerunner of IQ testing. The scale was based on the concept of mental age, which assumed that all children followed the same pattern of development, and anyone who scored an average of 12 years old and had a mental age of 12. Therefore, a child of 10 or 8 years old who performed at the level of a 12-year-old was considered to have a mental age of 12 and thought to be a student of unique ability, while a child of 10 who performed at a level of 8 was considered to have a mental age of 8 and underperforming for his age. Since then, the notion of a single intelligence that can be measured and quantified by psychometric testing has dominated the thinking of most educators and psychologists. The benefit of this approach is that it does provide a way of standardizing education in such a way as to give some meaning to a high school or college diploma. It has also provided some mechanism to identify children who might benefit from either remedial or advanced programs. And as all who have attended college know, standardized tests are a basis for college admission. Unfortunately, psychometric testing is good at predicting success in school only because most testing in school is built around similar kinds of tests. There's a growing body of evidence that these kinds of tests are not predictive of either career direction a person may take, nor are they predictive of success in a given career should a person pursue it. In fact, standardized tests have created what I call a bulimic approach to learning. Stuff it in, spit it out, and call it good on the part of many students. Hence, we have the phenomena that we're all familiar with, students burning the midnight oil prior to test-taking days. More importantly, believing intelligence to be a purely cognitive process, the single theory of intelligence, wholly ignores important dimensions of learning and performance, things such as desire and motivation, individual judgment, and moral and spiritual development. Most serious of all, however, the notion of a single quantifiable intelligence frequently leads to the formation of limiting beliefs. In some cases, it leads a teacher, and occasionally even parents, to take a limited view of a child's potential. When children accept these limiting beliefs about their potential, it significantly undermines their own self-confidence and will to succeed. And so I invite you to join me for the next episode on intelligence, where we'll be talking about the theory of multiple intelligences, which I think will give us some insight on perhaps some other ways of thinking about intelligence and learning that may be helpful in teaching your children. So I look forward to seeing you then. Have a good week and take care.